I think it brings more attention to the animal holocaust.
Why use the word Holocaust? Holocaust is the mass extermination of more than 6 million Jewish people.
This is Face the Facts Friday, where you get no BS takes on the latest vegan news, followed by a roast of the worst anti-vegan comments I've seen this week in our Meat Flakes of the Week. So get ready to get fact. Tash Peterson has pissed off the Jewish community. Honestly, at this point, who hasn't she pissed off? She went on Piers Morgan the other day, and this happened.
You're one of these people that runs into restaurants and plays, sounds from screaming animals and abattoirs and so on. I know you care passionately about it. I think it's very off-putting. It's a bit like the Just Stop Oil protesters doing a lot of their stuff. It just annoys people. It has the opposite effect to what you hope.
No, I don't think so at all. I think it brings more attention to the animal holocaust. Animals are subjected to rape, torture, enslavement, abuse and murder, and I'm bringing light to that, and I'm seeing
why would you use the word? Why
vegan.
use the word Holocaust? Holocaust is the mass extermination of more than 6 million Jewish people by Adolf Hitler and the Nazis.
Well, that is one Holocaust in history.
Why would you evoke? People know that as the Holocaust. Why would you use that kind of very emotive language, knowing it would offend a lot of people?
Well, it's just a factual statement. If you look at the definition of a Holocaust, it is slaughter or destruction on a mass scale. Multiple Holocausts have occurred throughout human history, and non-human animals can be subjected to the same atrocities that humans can. In fact, it's the largest Holocaust in history, with 3 trillion individuals brutally murdered every year for human food consumption.
Okay. What's the problem? Well, apparently, Tash has zero concern about trampling on the feelings of Holocaust survivors who have suffered enough and has no problem spitting on the memory of the millions of victims. To draw any equation between the treatment of animals to the systematic liquidation of men, women, and children in the gas chambers and in open fields is beyond obscene and sickening. That's true. Comparing the systematic liquidation of both adult and infant animals in the gas chambers and slaughterhouses to the systematic liquidation of men, women, and children in the gas chambers is just beyond obscene and sickening. No, mate. What's obscene and sickening is people who pay for gas chamber killings, especially these people who should know better. Piers was also going on about how he thinks veganism is dead.
Celebrities are denouncing veganism en masse. The market for plant-based gruel's fallen off a cliff. So is veganism here to stay, or as dead as a steak on my plate? Veganism's going out of fashion. Meatless Farm announced their ending production. Beyond Meat shares crashed 95%. Most vegan companies in this country, lack of consumer demand now.
He's probably getting this idea from this dumb Daily Fail article that claims the veganism hype is over because sales of some fake meat brands have gone down and some restaurant chains have taken some meat-free products off the menu. But at the same time, the vegan meat brand This Isn't Meat reported their largest increase in sales this year. The supermarket Aldi expanded their vegan range by 50%, and people's interest in plant-based fish has gone up by 343%. Also, the plant protein ingredients market is expected to cross $11 billion by 2033. Yet again, Piers Morgan falls for anti-vegan propaganda because it suits his agenda. Vegan products and businesses sometimes fail, but that doesn't mean the entire vegan food industry is failing, you numpty. Delia Smith, the celebrity chef that everyone forgot about, reckons veganism is wrong.
Wrong.
If some people just want to eat vegetables, and some people do, that's fine. But don't say you're helping the planet, because you're not. Full stop. Look at this loser trying to stay relevant by jumping on the anti-vegan popularity train. Veganism isn't even about helping the planet, it's about helping animals. But a massive study just dropped saying eating a plant-based diet could cut your emissions by 75%. To sod off, Delia, scientists have found the vital thing we've been missing in our diets all along. Algae. Yeah, I've been drinking water down from my local pond every day for years. That's how I've survived this long. They're going to make a B12 supplement out of this new algae that they found has B12 in it. And they reckon it's going to be way better than any other B12 supplement on the market. Are you ready for all the, but you're eating the fish's food, meat flake comments?
My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards.
A school teacher has told a 12-year-old kid to shut up and threatened to kick him out of the class if he didn't, because he questioned her beliefs about the plant-based diet and climate change. She was telling the class that a plant-based diet prevents global warming. This kid piped up and said he didn't agree, so she shut him down. Look, if you're a teacher trying to teach kids about plant-based diets and climate change, You can't be scared of a 12-year-old. Maybe get a grip on what you're talking about so you don't get embarrassed in front of a class of kids. But hey, check out what his mum said. We live in a rural country where agriculture is one of the biggest industries and we provide some of the very best meat around here. Children should be learning about this and I would be delighted to welcome classes to our farm and share with them what we do. Oh sure, Rachel, you're going to show them everything you do to animals? How about you take these kids for a little trip to the Slaughterhouse? That'll make them want to go vegan more than any teacher could. But keep an eye out for the Slaughterhouse manager. He might try and hire them. Last week in the USA, a 16-year-old kid was killed while working at a chicken slaughterhouse, cleaning the machines. This poor kid was a Guatemalan immigrant, doing the disgusting jobs that Americans won't. And back in 2019, another kid, this one 17 years old, got his hand chopped off while working illegally at a meat processing plant. So yeah, hide your kids from these scumbags.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Animal Ag just exposed the animal rights movement. This big expose shows animal rights organizations reeling in $800 million in 2022. I'm shocked, honestly. That's absolutely disgusting. I can't believe they only got that much funding. It should have been way more. Animal Ag gets billions of dollars in government funding. We need to even it out a bit. Look at this web of connections they've put together. And this is supposed to expose what exactly? That animal rights organizations help each other? Who could have guessed that? At this point, I'm pretty sure animal farmers are looking under their bed for activists at night. Check the wardrobe too. I'm sure there's one in there.
You're not a baby cow, bro.
Maybe instead of whining about animal rights organizations, you could stop torturing and abusing animals and switch to something like lab-based meat instead. Like this massive meat company JBS is doing. It just announced it's building the world's largest lab meat plant. If this catches on, we'll see an end to slaughterhouses and animal farming quicker than we could have ever imagined. What an amazing thing to consider. Now it's time to take a look at some of the dumbest comments I've seen from the last week in today's Meat Flakes of the Week.
It's time for Meat Flakes of the Week.
If animals shouldn't be eaten, why are they made of food? I think your dad should have pulled out, mate. Why do people care about animals so much? It's fucking food, and no way in hell am I eating grass for my entire life. Why do people think they're suddenly going to turn into a cow if they go vegan? What, you think vegans can eat and process grass and get nutrients from it? For real? Meat lives matter. This was supposed to be a troll comment, but if by meat you mean the animals that the meat comes from, then yes, their lives do matter. Animals are not humans. Animals are food. This is the type of person that thinks humans aren't animals, clearly. We are, by the way. Killing a plant doesn't even compare to killing an animal. Typically, there is way more food on an animal than a plant, so in theory, you would be able to make the animal last longer than a stupid plant. Interesting. Or what you could do is grow more plants. I've been milked. It reduces suffering, brah. It reduces suffering. Is this person pretending to be a cow like that other person who was eating grass? What's going on here? We got a special appearance. We got a meat flake from Cliff Grant's Instagram. We're in Titkes to enslave animals. We half the apex predators in this earth. We make the rules. Just the absolute peak of intellectual thought right here, guys. Just doesn't get any better than that. Eat whatever you want. Simple. This message brought to you by the American Association of Cannibals. I am a human. I am at the top of the food chain. I am the apex predator of this planet, so I eat whatever I feel like eating, as long as it's not my own species. You have a problem? Nobody cares. You wouldn't last 5 minutes against an actual apex predator, you melt. You were vegan because your dad never came back with the milk, copied and pasted multiple times by RDX the gangster. Let's take a look at this guy's profile. He's a beginner rapper. Seems like he thinks he's a gangster. Yeah, this is the guy chatting smack online. I don't need to say any more, do I? If you want to support me making more videos about animal rights and veganism, please consider joining my Patreon team. You'll be directly helping me put out more videos with a strong vegan message, and you'll be able to talk with me directly using the Patreon messaging system. You could also join the YouTube membership team, which doesn't have that DM option, but does give you a pretty cool green logo on your name, so everyone can see that you're an absolute legend. I can't do this important work without your support, so please do consider joining my team, and thank you again to everybody who's already a member. Thanks for watching, you absolute legends. I'll catch you in the next one.